So this guy right here had died about 10 days ago. He died about 10 days ago. He was shot and killed. He was in an RV. And I see the picture of the RV. It looks like a regular old RV. It doesn't seem... It says Friendship. The Friendship RV. So I'm just going to hold his picture up here while I read some of this article by Lindsay Grew, KKTV.com. Jefferson County, Colorado, law enforcement's investigating how a man ended up shot dead inside an RV at a busy park and ride near Redrocks Amphitheater. Redrocks Amphitheater. Jefferson County Sheriff's deputies discovered the grisly scene during a routine patrol of the Woolly Mammoth parking lot Friday afternoon. The lot is located off Highway 40 near I-70 and Morrison Road. The deputy saw an RV parked in the lot with the door swinging open. Deputies entered the RV and found a deceased male who had been fatally shot. The victim is identified as 57-year-old Matthew Heyer, R.I.P. to Matthew Heyer of Denver, 57 years old, so he's got 16 years over me, so he was born in what, 65 or something? Matthew Heyer's death is being investigated as a homicide. The sheriff's office is now asking anyone who saw anything in relation to give them a call, 303-271-5612, 303-271-5612. So, who knows what this is about? Who knows? It could be anybody. It literally could be anybody. Yeah, maybe he was beefing with somebody. Maybe it's a neighbor. Maybe it's just some gangster. Maybe it's just some damn gangster who wanted to steal his shit. When it comes to the rules of evidence, automatically, if you're the police officer, you want to gather evidence. So you want fingerprints, right? Dust for fingerprints. Look for hair fibers or DNA, right? If there's some blood spatters. And it's actually important to understand the DA's perspective and the judge's perspective on the rules of evidence, because what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Fingerprints, DNA, hair fibers. Take a picture of the scene, videotape, eyewitness testimonies. There's a whole bunch of case law. You can't do hypnotic trances. You can't do a polygraph test. But fingerprints, DNA, photographs, videotapes, the Kelly Blue Book, that's good evidence. So RIP to Matthew Heyer. Let's see if there's any other stories about this guy. Because that's pretty pathetic, America. Some guy was just living in an RV, and then some random person came and shot him so they could steal his money. Steal his money and steal his things. He's just by himself, right? It's just him in the RV. So that's and then if he's a nice guy, well then heck, he's an easy lick. He's by himself. He's a lone bear. And he's a nice person. Oh my goodness. You got to listen to Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson says that you got to have a backbone and you got to stand up for yourself. People will run you over. And they won't feel bad about it in the slightest. People do not have your best interest in mind. They want to take what you got. So when I think about who could have killed Matthew Heyer, maybe he had an enemy. Maybe just some random fucking person. Just saw that he was vulnerable. Matthew Heyer, let's see here. No internet, taking its time. So let's just kind of wait for a second, see if anything will pop up here. Maybe click on this one here too. See, they're seeking Woolly Mammoth. I think it's the same article. No, this is a different article. Well, this is a different website, CBS News. Kind of saying that, let's see, one lot user who declined to be interviewed on camera told CBS News that Matthew Heyer was living there in his RV. Well, he was living there, Police could not confirm if the victim had a permanent residence at the time of his death. He's probably living in the RV. It's crazy, troubling, remarked one group of skiers when they learned of the crime. Skiers, 3 friends. So it could have been any of there's skiers, there's tourists. The 3 friends have been parking in the lot for decades and never felt unsafe. We've been parking in this parking lot for decades. We never felt like it was unsafe. Huh. Okay, well, random shit happens, and there's crimes all over the fucking place, so it's probably not the parking lot, and maybe you're just privileged. Is that possible, too? Always a little concerned when you're leaving the car that someone would break in. On Friday, they park in the same section of the lot just hours before Hire was found. 1 o'clock, we all showed up. We all carpooled, said Jeremy Tyson. They don't remember seeing the RV. I'd say the parking lot was probably about as packed as it is now. It wasn't overly crowded or anything, and I don't recall seeing an RV or anything suspicious, said Michael Hogan. Visibility was real bad when we were here. It was snowing a lot. The lot doesn't appear to have surveillance cameras. Investigators don't know exactly when Hire was shot. Right, was it yesterday? Was it a week ago? Was it a month ago? We don't feel unsafe. Maybe Matthew Hire should feel unsafe around you piles of shit. How long did you all walk by that RV with a dead man in it and you didn't say a goddamn word? Jesus fucking Christ. Matthew Hire was just dead in his RV with the doors swinging open for a week or two before somebody was like, maybe that's weird. We're looking for help from the public in general. If they've seen Matthew, extended family, anyone he's talked to, they don't know anything about the guy. There's a number of leads. They believe that Matthew Hire was killed by somebody he knew. There was no ongoing threat to the public at the time, said Erickson. So that's interesting. So they think that somebody who knew, somebody who is connected to. And then how come, I mean, it's a parking lot, so it's a public area. Nobody saw anybody coming in or out, and I don't even remember seeing an RV. Okay, so those are terrible witnesses. If you know Matthew Hire, if you saw the RV at the Woolly Mammoth Lot, you're asked to call the tip line 303-271-5612. 5612. So that's another article there. Do we have anything else? Mr. No Internet, Mr. fucking web browser who don't want to connect, all checking the network cables, modem, and router. Okay, reconnect to the Wi-Fi. You're going to run some connectivity diagnostics, DNS probe, finish no internet. Do the DNS probe again. Do the DNS probe. Oh, look what happened. All of a sudden, we got goddamn internet. So let's see here. Matthew Hire. We'll have to write Denver. Now, there's 2 articles. CBS, KKTV. Anything else? Denver 7. Denver 7 has something. Here's another one. Yahoo News. Denver Post. Now, some of these are going to have paywalls. Denver Post. We'll click on that one last. We're going to think Yahoo News. We'll be allowed to check out Yahoo News, right? And then Denver 7. And then we'll do the Denver Post. So Matthew Hire, let's see. The cops don't know what the hell's going on, so they're asking for the public. And then, the public that reads. And then if you understand anything about the police state, I mean, it's best to limit your liability. So even if you worked there, even if you had surveillance on him, even if you knew Matthew Hire intimately, since we live in a police state, it's best to keep your damn mouth shut. Like Delata. Do what Delata did. Just keep your mouth shut, and then you're out in 8 months. You run far, far, far away from the truth. They'll try to twist this thing and that thing and everything. Okay, so Yahoo News, it's going to be like this little speaker here, so maybe we'll just listen to some
Friday afternoon, deputies were conducting a routine patrol
it's only
when
2
they
minutes.
found this man, 57-year-old Matthew Hire, dead in an RV. Well, now people who use that lot say they are worried about their own safety. Olivia Young is on top of the developments tonight. And Olivia, you spoke to people who were
I park in
there
this parking lot.
Friday.
It could happen to any of
We're
us.
actually parked right by where that RV was found. Now, take a look at this photo. This was the RV that victim was found in. The people I spoke to say they park in this lot all the time, but they never saw anything suspicious. Around 3:45 Friday afternoon, a routine patrol quickly turned into a homicide investigation for Jeffco deputies.
He saw a motorhome that he's seen here before. Door was standing open on it, and he decided to take a look at it.
Inside, the deputy found 57-year-old Matthew Hire shot to death. This is the area of Woolly Mammoth parking lot where police found Matthew on Friday. They're asking anyone who recognizes him or his RV to reach out.
It's very troubling. Yeah, that was a little shocking.
This group of skiers have been parking in the lot for decades and never felt unsafe.
Always a little concerned, when you're leaving the car that maybe somebody would break in,
Friday, they parked nearby just hours before Matthew was found.
31 o'clock, we all showed up and we all carpooled.
But they don't remember seeing the RV.
I'd say the parking lot was probably about as packed as it is right now. It wasn't overly crowded or anything, and I don't recall seeing an RV or anything suspicious.
Visibility was really bad when we were here because it was snowing hard.
Investigators don't know exactly when Matthew was shot and are looking to narrow
We
down
don't even
the
know if there was an RV
are
around. There was an RV!
From the public in general.
You're a terrible witness.
Any extended family, anyone.
We don't even know if we're real. This is all a
They
matrix.
have a number of leads and believe Matthew was killed by someone.
No, there was an RV there, you piece of shit. It is possible that it just becomes part of the background, right? You go to Walmart, there's a bunch of cars, a bunch of crap going on, you just kind of ignore all of it.
Call the numbers on your screen. That's the tip line or Crime Stop.
All right, thank you, Olivia Young. So basically, that was just her reading the report. Okay, so we had a couple of them, didn't we? I should have gone back. So the guy's name is Matthew Heyer. R.I.P. to Matthew Heyer. Denver 7, that was the other article. And then the Denver Post. Who here thinks that there's going to be a paywall? And so that's great fucking business, isn't it? As an American society, you want to catch the people that murder other people. Murder's like, that's a pretty bad crime. I mean, I don't know if I need to pull up Colorado law. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in there that you're not allowed to murder. A man found dead inside an RV parked in a Jefferson County park and ride Friday has prompted a homicide investigation. 57-year-old, Interstate 70, Morrison Road, Woolly Mammoth Park and Ride. What's a park and ride in Woolly Mammoth? Deputies discovered Matthew Heyer's body while performing routine patrols of the parking lot. You know, even just the body camera of the guy going up to the RV is better than all this fucking information. This is capless fucking newspapers just barely getting a story just to put out some fucking words on a page and say, hey, we got the story. You didn't get the story. The guy's shot and dead, but there is a beef, right? They think that it was connected to somebody he knew. So somebody he knew that he was parked there, so that means it's somebody in the vicinity. And if it was somebody he knew, why would they presume that? They should tell us why they would presume it was somebody they knew. Because if it's just a random shooting, then that means everybody is in danger. There's a random shooting. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Even if it was a personal beef, in some respects, everybody is still... There's a killer on the loose. Somebody murdered Matthew Heyer, and then they walked away. Now, America's institutions don't work. The banking institutions don't work. The court systems don't work. And the cops and the newspaper institutions. None of it works. So the likelihood of anybody catching, it was only 10 days ago, right? You got 48 hours, but if they're being serious, you post the body camera, you let them know here's the area, here's the spot, and then you try to get as many affidavits, as many eyewitnesses around the vicinity as possible. If he's living in his RV, he could have been parked there for a week or two or a month or so. And then where was he right before then? Check out the RV parks. How many RV parks are there around there? He's 57, too. So, I mean, he's been around the block for nearly 6 decades. So he's been able to protect himself up to this point. So Denver 7 doesn't add any other information, just kind of 3 or 4 paragraphs, the same 3 or 4 paragraphs. And last, but there's Twitter. Do we want to... They said that the RV was parked near Golden, April 14th. It is right now... April 25th, so that was 11 days ago. Okay, so there was one more, right? The Denver Post. Let's see. Denver Post. Let's see. Deputies discovered Matthew Heyer's body around 3:45 p.m. in the Woolly Mammoth parking lot off of US 40 near Interstate 70. Crime and public safety. We weren't looking for him, she said Sunday. We routinely patrol these parking lots. The deputy saw the doors flapping open. He went up for a welfare check and he peeked inside and he saw somebody in there. Court records show that Matthew Hire doesn't have any criminal history in Colorado, so he's never hurt anybody or done anything to anybody. You have to suspect foul play. You have to suspect it's bullshit. It was a homicide, right? It's not suicide. So there's a murderer running around. Now, if the institutions of America would work, well, then the damn court system and the judges and the cops, they would all be on this. And in fact, they have a good the e-filing system. Why would you not immediately just on the scene of all this crap, put all that stuff right there on the e-filing system? You got body cameras, you got dash cams, and you came across a dead body, then everything about that scene, everybody, you have to, wrap that scene up and keep that scene in place and videotape the whole thing and then, I guess, rifle through the shit, right? And you're looking for fingerprints, you're looking for hairs, you're looking for... DNA would be good evidence, but basically anything relevant and material. That's the standard, relevant and material. So that's any evidence whatsoever that somehow could tie something, even the victim's rights statute says if you don't have knowledge, you're still a witness until you tell the police officer, no, I don't have any knowledge. They still get to say, hey, were you a witness? Carlin Tilley said Sunday she was not sure how long the body had been in the RV before the deputies found it or why the RV was parked. We also could be told a lot more information. My God, they're not telling us a goddamn fucking thing. Good thing, the press sucks, but at least the limited amount of information that we get is from the press. That's all we get. It's only the press that's telling us what the hell's going on. We weren't really looking for him, So what? Who gives a shit? So, go find the fucking killer. You're the good guys, right? Court system, judges, clerks. There's a murder. Does the court system work? Or are you just a bunch of bastards who just fuck people over for speeding tickets and goddamn seatbelt violations? And if you just happen to get fucked over by the cops, well, it's a police state. Fuck you and fuck what you believe in. Fuck everything that you... But meanwhile... When something happens to you, nobody does a fucking thing. So the police state will fuck you over and fuck you over and fuck you over. And meanwhile, you're just minding your own business in a fucking RV and somebody wants to steal $100 fucking and that's it. That's the end of your life. 2-year-old found dead in crib. People are just fucking sick as fuck. There's, basically, Robert Greene is correct. I gotta come across this quote again, but he was saying that life is war against man's evil nature. That is exactly, oh my God, that's exactly what it feels like to be me. Look at all these fucking evil sons of bitches all over the fucking place. I'll show them that I'm kind and decent, and then they'll try to fuck me over. Oh, he's kind and decent, and he's by himself. That's an easy lick. Fuck him. But I like being good, and I like being just, and I like being moral. So what am I trying to say? That injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So when the police state will fuck a person over for not wearing a seatbelt, yet they let the fucking the child abusers and the fucking rapists and the goddamn murderers and all the fucking drive-by shooters, puppy fucking killers, they let every felon in the fucking... Basically, cops are... I guess they're scared bitches and they don't want to actually arrest the criminals who are criminalizing people. So they're just going to arrest a person without a seatbelt to feel like they're doing something. At least the machine's working. At least the mechanics, the gears of the machine are rotating. They're moving in some direction. But the proof is in the pudding. Are you stopping the crimes? Is there a presence of justice in the neighborhoods? You got a badge and a uniform and a gun. Okay. We respect your authority. Now go fucking do your job. Oh, you're going to arrest me because I told you to do your job? Fuck you. Just because I made eye contact with you? I'm not committing a crime. I'm just the person that says you need to go do your job. There's a crime. There's a criminal who just committed crimes and you're not doing your fucking job, but you're a bitch-ass piece of shit. And since you got an ego, you're going to figure out a way to fuck me over because I just told you to do your damn job. In a democracy, the government is afraid of the people. In a dictatorship, the people are afraid of the government. So RIP to Matthew Hire. I hope they catch whoever killed the guy. And, I don't know. Let's do better, America. I mean, isn't it just fucking obvious? Isn't it just obvious that this shit is wrong? Isn't it just fucking obvious? I like to think so, but I think sometimes you just got to spell it out for people.